Yeah.
The Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show.
Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of The Tailgate Show. The four horsemen of the podcast apocalypse are all here. You got Air Jer, you got Biscuits, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Biscuits the Butcher, you got B Diddy, and you got me, myself, and I, double A. Wow. What's happening there, fellas?
I feel kind of like jealous, man. I never got an intro like that.
Not gonna lie, that was a dope intro for me. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of weak on the others.
Straight up gangsters.
Yeah. You didn't even intro me like that in our first episode, man.
Oh, I know. I didn't take him out to dinner. I just went straight for it.
Damn,
boy.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
That's how it go. That's how it go. They call me Big Ben.
Oh.
Straight no chaser.
Anyway, we played a team where they're struggling so bad that they ran the Wildcat on us.
Right?
Yo, like the Giants seriously exist to have stats that are somehow worse than the Bears. Like the Giants somehow became the New York, the fucking Meadowlands Lions.
Negative 10 yards passing.
Damn.
Bro, from jump, Glennon was just dead. It was like one of those nature shows where like the fucking lion finds the weak member of the herd, and you're just like, oh fuck, because you know, but you're kind of like it was like immediately, it was just like, oh, this shit is over. Like that game was over like from the second Giant series.
Like I haven't felt that way about our defense since 18, man.
I didn't even know what I was like I couldn't compute it. Like I was like, wait, what's happening? How is this happening? Like I don't understand.
Didn't it feel like 18 though? Like it's like holy shit, look at our defense.
Nah, nothing really feels like 18. It just felt weird.
4 turnovers, the sacks. I agree with Diddy on that.
I just say when I see it now, I don't even know how to react. Like I don't go back to like a familiar place. I just go like, what? Is that a rerun?
With this team this year, I don't know you can go anywhere with them, but damn, that was fun. It was fun to see.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I had a blast, man. I'm like, oh, this is really happening. Like
I got to relax. It's like, oh fuck, the Bears are just gonna win. Oh. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you wonder like, what's that coming from? How are they doing this? Like, how are they playing like this?
Oh, Giants O-line's trash, bro.
No. But the energy that the team has right now is very different than any soon to be coach firing, tire fire. Like it's interesting, and I personally have been one that's very motivated to give the credit to the players and not the coaches.
Yes,
but it's just interesting that this team is finishing so strong.
He's a good dude, man. He's a good guy. They probably.
But I'm not. No, I don't want to give fucking Nagy any credit. I just think it's interesting. Yeah. I'm not giving him any fucking credit.
I think it's classic. Oh, well, coach is gone. All right, let's try to pump it up a little bit, you know?
But I don't think that's classic. There's nothing classic about that, Jer. That's rare and weird.
Horrible offensive coach, dude. He's a horrible offensive coach, but like he also handles himself with class. He does. I don't like him right now. I want him out. But like the way he came out with JD, like he's always been a professional.
It's just. Yeah, listen. I'm not. This isn't a shit on Nagy thing. This is like
I'm just saying.
This is like I want to know. Yeah, but I have to ask you to stop giving him credit for it because I don't think he deserves it.
What I'm saying is, when you like somebody, you fight.
Well, let's give Desai some credit. I agree. I understand how that would work. Yeah. I'm just saying I don't believe that it's what's happening. My thing is this is like. You have to give Desai some credit. Like everybody got real fucking hyped up on Desai, and then we were like, "Fuck Desai." Yeah, we weren't, but a lot of people are like on Bears Twitter and whatever. I don't really fucking listen.
I agree with you
because
the defense is fighting harder.
It's weird. Like, why is it happening?
It could be for Desai. I'm just saying they're not quitting.
And what I'm saying is it's confusing to me. Like, I look at it and I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't fit the narrative quite perfectly, which is why I still somewhere
building of good the coaches are good people, most likely. Furry's probably a little bit.
I get it, but it is so much more likely for it to go the other way.
If you're a chessman and you're a total lunatic.
Well,
I think you're underestimating just how bad the Giants are.
I agree, but it's been like they've been fighting together for each other for a few games now when they could have packed it in.
How do you
guys are playing for jobs though too.
Yeah, it's football, bro. Like you pack it in, you get in.
How many times have you seen teams pack it in, man? You acting like how? You know that shit happens.
You still have to go though.
You know shit goes sideways. You know discipline shit starts to happen. Like. And with Khalil Mack out, like I'm just saying it's weird. I don't even know. I'm obviously impressed by it.
Robert Quinn, there's the leaders on this team, bro.
But he's he is such a quiet dude. Like
example based, bro. They're seeing this guy that's in his into his 30s.
I just think it's interesting, like that. I mean, to me, the leaders on the defense is Roquan right now. Akeem, unfortunately, he's out so much that I don't know.
Robert Quinn is a leader with his actions, man. When you see that, that's infectious to a team. When you see the older guys still fucking like busting their ass, that sends a message to the young guys.
But bro, we've seen it go. We've seen it go the other way. So I don't think it's just as clear cut as here's the archetypal reasons why a team rallies. Like it's not that. Like it's weird. I'm just telling you, it's fucking weird. It doesn't fit the rest of the narrative.
I think if the Giants would have went up 14 in that game and the other, you might have seen a reverse though.
But they just came out.
If the Giants go up 14, you can probably see a team tank it in. They're competitive. They played well. Bears got momentum early and held on to it.
Well, that's fucking funny. Like fucking funny because the Giants basically hurt their own pick. And helped, because of the Bears, and then helped their other pick. Is the old fart out of Chicago yet? Who's that?
You're gonna have to.
Who's the old fart? Nagy's like 44. I don't get that. Anyway, I just think there's a weird. And the thing is, it's also confusing to me, but it's also like there's a dark little doorway that someone could go in, and on the other side of that dark, terrible doorway is Nagy somehow keeping his job because of this energy. Like I have to go there. Like I have to go there mentally and think, fuck, is there still a way that this motherfucker doesn't get fired? Because everybody wants to do two things as Bears fans. They want to act like fucking. The McCaskies are crazy. They're full of shit. We know this. We accept it. But then they put this like logical, fucking normal decision-making lens on them and go, well, this is what you should do, as if they give a fuck. They told us at the beginning of this season why they didn't fire these dudes last year when everybody said they should have. And they basically told us, we know better than you. We don't give a fuck. Like...
Right.
I'm not there. Nagy's getting fired. I'm more like upset that Pace is staying too. Like I think if they had to choose between the two, Pace.
So I'm not like the fucking I told you so guy. But how long have I been saying
There has to be a sacrificial lamb. It's easier to make it the coach.
And Pace set him up to, Pace like, cool, you don't want my coaching staff? Bring in your own coaching staff. You don't want my quarterback? You can't make Mitch work? Bring in your own quarterback. See how that goes.
Shit's too loud now, man. Once you start chanting fire a coach, the message is clear.
No, I get you. And I'm not saying Pace has an easy out. He can just push it all off on a Nagy. Nagy couldn't make Harry Hiestand work. Nagy couldn't make Mark Helfrich work. Nagy couldn't make Mitch Trubisky work. Nagy couldn't make Foles work. Nagy couldn't make Mike Davis work. I mean, it goes on and on. Nagy fucking didn't want Jordan Howard. All Nagy's shit. The only good thing Nagy ever said to do was like bring in Trey Burton, which worked for like 8 games.
Ironically, the offense was better with Hiestand and Helfrich.
Absolutely.
Statistically.
I mean, the Bears are seriously playing like 1940s football. And somehow the Giants are playing like 1930s football. Like offensively. You know what I'm saying? Like 140 yards passing a game and shit. It's like, what?
Shouldn't that whole thing just be a further indictment on Pace, though? I know George and Ted aren't great decision makers, but if your whole argument is, well, Pace is giving them all this just to show that Nagy's the problem, well, as the GM, what the fuck is taking so long to ride him out of town? Why haven't you come to us?
Because there's two sides to that coin. One, you can look at it and say Pace is giving him enough rope to hang himself with. 2 is he's collaborating with him and supporting his coach. But there has to be, in the mode of self-preservation, there has to be a separation that allows for some final accountability. There should be one that allows for more immediate accountability all the time, but there's not. And these two are like skipping around together like some dumbass frat boys. But
it's so dysfunctional that freaking Pace should be taking this opportunity to see live reps with the guys he wants to keep.
Right.
Pace should have Nagy and said, I want Foles in because Foles is going to potentially be here.
Right.
I want, you know what I mean? I want,
right.
He's not taking advantage of the opportunity to even solidify. Hey, I still want to be here. Look,
because I still think he's, I still think he doesn't
would do though.
Yeah, I know, but shit's weird up there, bro. They're weirdos.
In a game where you lead
that's
by
why I want him gone.
points.
If I saw something like that and our young guys were playing, I'd be like, okay.
Again, here you go, putting normal logic lens over top of crazy ass McCaskey's. Go ahead, Jared.
In a game where you lead by 26 points going into the fourth quarter and you're not playing Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah.
That's pretty much an indictment.
I mean, Nagy's fucking sick in the head too. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you cannot place any sort of logical, lens or paradigm over him. You just can't.
What does Andy Dalton?
What he does makes no fucking sense.
What does Andy Dalton have on him?
What is Nick Foles?
Games we've seen from a quarterback.
I mean, bro, I think that they are straight gaming us right now. Like, I don't think. Remember when Andy Dalton's hand was hurt and then all of a sudden the groin popped up on the injury report? This shit's so bullshit. He's never fucking hurt. They're just playing fucking musical quarterbacks. Nagy's been told he's been fired, and they're basically like, stay the fuck away from Justin.
I thought about
Foles
that.
is like, give me one more start, and Dalton's like, you fucks told me I was QB1. I want to play. Like, they're trying to audition for jobs.
Nick Foles is like, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll just see you next season.
Yeah, exactly. Nick Foles will just fucking chill, bro. Nick Foles will sit back and just watch that shit burn. Like, Nick Foles is literally the little girl on the swing meme where everything's fucking burning behind her, and Nick Foles is just like, bitches. Shouldn't have fucked with me. Shouldn't have been talking shit.
Yeah, he went on some Parky shit too right after that game. He was like, football doesn't define me. I'm like, and I didn't even care because the performance. I was like, we won. It was a lot easier to swallow that bullshit.
Yo, there's nothing Foles loves more than fucking pulling it out and throwing it on.
You remember what Parky
Nagy's forehead?
Oh, football's not everything. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Yo, but the optics of that were so horrendous, bro. Like, I still can't even believe that happened. That shit doesn't happen to normal teams. Like, I blocked out a lot of the mental damage that the double doink did.
The kicking competition, bro.
Bro, but before the kicking competition, like, in what world does the kicker go on Good Morning America, bro?
Yeah.
Like, only the Bears does that shit happen to. Every failure.
Kicker, bro. I'm a kicker, and you're inviting me on a show like that. Yeah, that's a big spot for.
And they gave him the most honorable player award.
Like, what the actual fuck, bro? Like, can you imagine what kind of fucking, like, weird ass world? Oh, look at we got some new. Oh, that was the P Jug VF Vibure.
Go ahead.
What up, P Jug? Boop boop. Big P Jug in the house, you know.
Now he's gonna lose his spot. You were on
Vark Tech, huh? What you don't know about Vark Tech?
I was just enjoying listening to what you were saying, and you went all Bartek on me.
Well, because P Jugs came throwing through.
now you lost your train of thought, right?
Yeah, fully.
Double doink.
It was so the shit that like as if the fucking outcome of the game wasn't enough to send you into like a fucking mental spiral, like the aftershocks, the fucking drama, like unbelievable, bro. Like I was at some of those training camps with the kicker competition.
I saw him hit the post 4 times versus Detroit.
Yeah, like that shit. Like only the Bears have shit go sideways, like on this biblical level, you know. Like most teams, it's like, oh, we lost the Super Bowl because we should have ran the ball. Like if that was the Bears, like not only should you have run the ball, but the running back coach is a fucking sex trafficker, and like just like some insane like level of insanity would be involved in if it was the Bears. You know,
and it just sucks because like we had Robbie Gould so long that like.
Oh, well, that was all the fucking appetizer for that shit. Like the whole shit, everything about every Bears problem has like
Robbie Gould in the stands.
Dude, you can't make this shit up. It's so crazy. Like, and people don't understand why we're nuts. But it's like literally we're watching like a haunted football soap opera.
Remember we were at Soldier Field Day that offseason? We stood where he kicked it. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, we were like it was like Stranger Things, bro. Like we were in Soldier Field and it was like Stranger Things. That fucking
they took you to the spot where he missed the field.
No, we just got it. You get to hang out on the field.
Oh,
and you can't.
So hold on. So you two preemptively said, "Hey, let's go to the spot where Cody."
No, bro, we didn't even plan it. All of a sudden, we were just there, like some mystical fucking force. I'm telling you, bro, some mystical force drew us there. I was definitely not thinking.
You hear that shit, Jer?
Bro, it's real. Like, we fucking were out there.
We all blacked out and woke up at the Cody Park.
No, man, you just kind of wander out there.
You're looking at the stands when you're down on the field.
It's wild. Like, it seems so small.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, look where we're at.
Like the field itself feels small as fuck, like the actual field. But then you're just surrounded by the stands and you're just like, what the hell? Like, it's intense.
And then
the next thing,
wasn't it?
Yeah, on some level, but it's just because it's a fucking stadium. Shut the fuck up.
And you want to leave.
Shut the fuck up. Every stadium has this, bro.
I'd rather be looking at like the big dome and fucking...
Yeah, that big dome.
There's the dolphin swim up pool bar.
All those huge replay screens.
You know, dolphin swim up pool bar. Fuck out of here.
Mojito lounge and all that shit that people think they
Just for the players. Just for the players.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. What about the Legend Lounge, where you need an approved pass to get in there for advice?
Bro, Bears Twitter needs to fucking take a chill on the fucking meth pipe.
That's game day. You think the players have time for that shit?
Yo, and shout out our guy Brendan, but like, Brendan, are you really doing the tag 5 players move to like fire some shit up on Bears Twitter? Like, Brendan's like, we need a council of Bears elders to preside over the new transition in the off season.
So I said,
now let me quote tweet Jerry Azuma and then tag Alex Brown, Olin Kreutz, Patrick Manley, and fucking who else? Like, it's like, really? Did you think that was gonna fucking stir shit up? You know who replied? Heidi.
I did. My reply?
Like just to troll him.
We'll
Like-
call it a fellowship of the rings.
Like what the fuck, bro? No, bro, it's a fellowship of no rings. If you bring those players together.
Brendan's trying to start a fan convention. Then I said, why don't you just bring in the guy that brought them in? It's all Angelo guys. Just bring Jerry Angelo back. He's the one that got him here.
But like, I'm like, what kind of fucking like Twitter blackout did you have where you just thought, I either am important enough to tag these people and have them respond to me, or like it's just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, this season has melted everyone's brains, and that's not just the shit on Brendan, but
you know what though? He's cool about it. Like he'll retweet, he'll quote tweet you, and like
no, he's cool shit. We fuck with Brendan, but I'm just saying, like when I saw that, I was like, really, bro? Wow, like you're okay. Like that's a move.
Shit's rough right now, bro. We got the pandemic ramping back up. With this coach search is like everybody's trying to figure it out. The people that care about being right. It's very stressful times.
Jim Harbaugh fever is upon us.
Yeah, man.
Like Jim Harbaugh's agent is like, well, let's do a little bit of this. The college football playoffs is over. We got a long break in between now and the national championship. Let's put a little bit of gasoline on that match.
Jared, what's your thoughts on Harbaugh, bro?
What? I can't read that.
Stay ahead of the points, Jimmy.
31 points ahead of us, Jimmy. You're not.
I don't get that.
And that is our production quality. So, Jared, what do you think about Jim Harbaugh?
I told you I'm a man of limited skills. Anyway.
I'm a man of limited skills. I will not find you.
No, I won't really care to.
I have no particular skills.
They're deep down inside of you, though, Jer.
Harbaugh,
that's a gallstone.
He's not really won anything. What's he won? He had the NFC Championship.
44-19. They only lost the Super Bowl because of the power outage.
Let him finish his thought.
It's just he's not been great at Michigan. He loses to Ohio State constantly.
What?
I mean, I don't know how much college equivalates to the NFL, but he hasn't won anything in Michigan. This year is the first time he's done anything there. So.
But Jer, he understands the Bears.
Well, he's the best coach since Ditka.
You know what fucking is crazy is I was listening to 670 and Mark Grody. Mark Grody had Les Grobstein on, and he was talking about Harbaugh. And, like, Grody would ask Grobstein a question, and, like, Grobber never answers the question. He just, like, launches into a history lesson about whatever Grody was talking about. You know, and he's like, he's like, what do you think of Harbaugh being, possibly being the next coach of the Bears? And Grody just, like, goes in. No, fucking Grobber just goes into, like, a full, like, Wikipedia snapshot of his playing career. Like, it was so random. And I totally forgot that he almost got the Colts to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
In 95, and he was captain comeback. Like, I don't know why, but I blocked that out. Like, I just have this, like, Tecmo Bowl fucking memory of Harbaugh and the Bears. Like, I forget about Harbaugh not on the Bears.
I think
who was Harbaugh's OC?
Where?
At San Francisco.
Roman.
Yeah.
Who was his DC? That's the better question.
Who was his DC?
Yeah.
Fangio.
Correct.
Oh, they're gonna bring them all together.
And they had sick players too. Like they had some monsters on that team, on that defense.
So I saw somebody putting
Bowman. Yeah.
I saw somebody putting out there on Twitter that Vic Fangio will come back if Harbaugh's the coach. It's like, no, he's not.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
No, he absolutely. He was with him in college, bro. They have a tight relationship.
It's possible. I mean, if Fangio gets fired by the Broncos, which is entirely possible, I could see it.
Harbaugh is big enough. You remember when like Jack Del Rio first started DCing after he had the head coaching gig?
Yeah.
Like Harbaugh's that big. He'll get Vic Fangio. He could get Greg Roman as an assistant head coach because technically that's a promotion. And
that's the thing is that I think in coaching circles and in professional football circles, like people see what Harbaugh has done.
We don't think it's realistic, so we're not setting ourselves up for failure. But
No. But I'm just saying, like,
down for that.
Like we want to shit on Harbaugh's record at Michigan or whatever, but it's like Harbaugh fucking.
Bro, you're gonna love Harbaugh on the sidelines. We'd love it.
No, absolutely, fucking chomping around with his jaw.
Suck each other up for it.
Oh fuck yeah! But no, I would like if I woke up tomorrow and he was the coach, I'd be like, yes, like like
oh yeah,
fucking, I'll be like, look at those khakis, like I'll fucking like I'll flip real quick and become fucking boss Stan A1.
He's that guy. I'd love to come here. I just don't see any freaking way it happens. So like,
but that's what's fucked up is that he fucking decided to go back to his alma mater to put them back on the fucking map. He could have,
bro.
He could have stayed in the NFL. Like everybody's crafted this idea that he made everybody mad in San Francisco. It's like that shit's fuck all that. He could have done whatever he wanted. He decided to go back to Michigan and try to pull them out of the fucking muck, and he did. It took him a long time, but like let's not act like Michigan has all these fucking players every year. Like Like Michigan puts out like average O linemen every year, and for some reason everybody thinks they can draft running backs and wide receivers from there, but it never works out.
So the big schools like Notre Dame and Michigan were big back in the day.
Yeah,
players really wanted to go there, but like
Desmond Howard was a long ass time ago.
They were on what I'm saying. They had TV exposure back then. They had that market almost monopolized the big schools. Now college football is every fucking station. Like you're gonna get seen, right?
Bro, look at what's happening now. Big stars are going to the HBCUs, like because of prime time. Coach.
It's all changing.
Prime.
Man. Plus,
it's all changing. So like,
there's endorsement money coming down the pipe now.
But they would like. So I'm just saying, like Michigan. Let's not act like Michigan was super relevant. They're only relevant because they have dope ass helmets and they play Ohio State and Notre Dame all the time.
And they got their stadiums. What the most people can fit in there in college football?
Yeah, Big House is crazy, like 110,000 people or something madness like that. I mean, honestly, like if I had a choice of where to go see a college football game, I would go to the Big House before I would go to Notre Dame. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though Notre Dame's historical, whatever the fuck, like Big House just seems nuts, man.
As like not a fan of any team, I get that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not. I fucking. That's not a dig. I don't fucking. I don't have an allegiance to.
I'm trying to put myself in that mindset where I don't like any football team. That'd be a dope.
But Harbaugh did fucking bring them back. It took a little longer because Michigan had. It's just not easy being Michigan right now, and so they just been Ohio State's just had them over a barrel for fucking a long ass time.
Yeah, but being Ohio State he's gonna have his recruitment's gonna be nasty.
So the fucking rumors are spinning, and I'm just saying like his agent is playing this perfectly. Like he's now basically like it's such a power play. Like now he basically has his choice of joining the Bears, even if they weren't interested. Now Harbaugh can say to them, "You are interested."
I'm hearing more Raider shit.
Again, I think
which situation do you think is better, Oakland or Las Vegas or Chicago?
Raiders for short term.
Yeah, I mean they've already got their stadium. They're building something new there.
They have a lot of weapons on offense. Their defense sucks.
There's more wiggle room too because it's fresh. It's like things are evolving.
I just think if you're his agent, this is exactly how you play it. It's fucking like it's genius the way he's playing it. He now can if the Bears were not actually thinking about hiring Harbaugh, they are now. That's how much of a power play this was.
You saw Brandt's tweet that I shared, right? Like
yes, because but I said that before he said that.
Yeah, you did.
That this is fucking agent power play.
I told you.
Dan O'Donnell in the chat says Nevada has no state income tax. All right, well, whatever. He don't care about that. He took a pay cut and then he gave his bonus to the fucking staff of Michigan and like that got laid off.
Well, you mentioned his struggles with recruiting. I think Diddy's mentioned a couple times now. A guy like Harbaugh is going to want a lot of control over roster personnel. So with that struggle with recruiting, how much power are you willing to give to Harbaugh coming in here?
You're Ryan Pace.
Whatever he wants. Whatever the fuck he wants. If you go Harbaugh, you go all in.
Yeah, so I think, and that's where I think Pace would cower.
Well, I think if you really, this is kind of like when
I don't mind a big coach like that coming in with a focus and the way he wants his team built, and telling the GM, go get these guys.
I like Harbaugh is a whale. You know what I mean?
What's
Like
occurring now, though, right? With Nagy.
What?
He's giving input on who he wants.
Yeah.
Bringing him to him. I mean, I think Harbaugh's going to want significantly more.
You're talking about a GM that didn't even tell John fucking Fox who he was drafting.
Yeah, but him and Nagy been fucking spooning.
You don't
for
think
a while.
Nagy's more of a pushover than Fox?
I think Nagy's kind of been driving the bus on a lot of shit, to be quite honest. Like, I don't think Pace is wears the pants in that relationship.
Doing that to a coach as established as John Fox is Big Willie style. Like, I don't think.
Of course it is.
Nagy,
I mean, and that's the reason that they didn't get fired, is because they were able to convince. Basically, this is fucking weird. Is that Nagy, in a way, like, saved Pace's job? I think. Because he, again, kind of spun another half-truth about what he did in Kansas City. You know what I mean? There's these Nagy myths that Nagy is the reason that Mahomes was drafted, and that Nagy was the reason that Alex Smith was good, and it's just there's these like fucking myths about Nagy.
Yeah, but it's myths. Hey, Kansas City's fine, right? When Frank Reich left fucking Philly, they weren't fine. That was the dude. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you see that Kansas City hasn't taken a back seat when Nagy left. His impact was very minimal. That's
what I'm saying. It's that's why they're myths. They're fucking myths. And so there's this other myth out there that he's a quarterback draft guru. You know, like, he's not only is he a fucking offensive guru and a quarterback guru. Oh, he's a draft guru.
Because
okay, fucking.
He said Mahomes.
So then this motherfucker shows up in his white sweatshirt, like, checking out Justin Fields, like, yeah, I'm Nagy, what's up? You know, and then they fucking luck into him, right? So fucking Ted and George are like sucking each other off. They're so fucking happy about all this shit. And everybody was just like, we did it.
It's like a South Park episode live.
You know? Yeah, like they were all like, oh, we did it. But then Nagy was like, the plan is to start Dalton all year. And it's like, what the fuck?
Hey, you should be a playwright, bro.
I should be a playwright. I could write.
I took a log earlier.
Rent 2.
He could write the scripts and you could act them out.
Well, that's not the only big name position that we're talking about. Ryan Pace's position has actually been discussed online today. It seems like there's some names that came out.
Right. Well, Pompey and fucking Arkish have been saying Rick Smith for a while. So Rick Smith was the GM of Houston, and then he had a tragic, like, family. His wife died, and he, like, stepped away from the game after 2017. He went from being, like, from GM to then president, and he had a pretty good track record. And people, you know, so Pompey and Arkish are saying, oh, he dealt with the McNairs. There's no way the McCaskies.
The coach didn't fire him? I thought he did.
Well, no. The coach didn't fire him.
Bill O'Brien.
No.
Out.
No, he left in 2017.
Oh.
Like, no, it was pre-Watson.
Was it pre-O'Brien, though?
I don't know, but he left because of personal issues. His wife died.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's just what Dan Pompey and Hub Arkish said. That's all. But they're probably wrong.
No, I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, like, so anyway, apparently this guy has a good track record. He wants to get back into fucking football. So there's a thought process that says he comes in as the president and evaluates Pace for a season.
It's easy. Just look at the fucking salary cap now.
Right.
There's your evaluation.
They're so afraid right now of letting somebody go and having them succeed somewhere else. They're very afraid of that.
7 years, bro.
I know, but they're so they fucking listen to everything, and they're so afraid of being second guessed. Like
literally, they have experts in the building, right? Bill Polian and
apparently,
bro.
It's like the Colts.
Mike Glennon is our starting quarterback, and I'm fired up about that. Because that quote.
Yeah.
I mean, he went into detail. Remember how his quick release and
He's a fucking he sucks and he needs to go. Like any pace fucking defenders can like seriously take a bath with the toaster. Like
he said that Andy Dalton was the most complete QB they evaluated in the offseason.
Yeah, like this motherfucker is like a evil salesman robot set to destroy. You know, he's just like, I am really fired up about Mike Glennon. Like he's, I don't even know if you are old enough to know what this is, but you know what fucking business. You know what Max Headroom is?
No.
Yes.
So fucking a long ass time ago, like back in the 80s, there was this fucking like robot guy computer graphic that like tripped everybody out for a long time. It was Max Headroom, and he would come on and be like, oh yeah, but people were enthralled by it because it was like nobody had ever seen shit like that, you know, like nobody had really ever seen, you know, that type of graphics, whatever, and it wasn't anything, but like that's how Pace is. He's just like this fucking robot, pomade powered robot. Like,
hey, let me take you back in time.
Oh, I do know that dude. Sorry.
Yeah, Max Headroom.
Yeah, I know that dude.
2015.
Like, you know, you think every now and then like Pace is just gonna fall over and a spring will pop out of his ear.
I just want to see if I can change your mood here on Pace. I think I can really quickly, actually.
What is my mood? My mood is fuck that guy. So just make sure we're straight on that.
It's going to get darker. 2015, Kevin White.
Wow.
Eddie Goldman, I'll give him.
For a couple of years.
But then he paid him.
He actually contributed though. That's
to
unfortunately
to that playoff win.
Dude, Grasu.
Horrendous Grasu.
Langford for a minute, I guess.
Bro, Langford was the next Walter Payton. Don't you remember?
Amos pisses me off because we didn't keep him. So like I don't you let guys go. You're not retaining the guys that you're supposed to be building the team with through the draft, but whatever. And Teo Faberge.
Yo, like, motherfuckers are acting like they just now realized this whole Amos shit. That's what's so fucking funny. Like, people are really all of a sudden just like snapping to the fact that it was horrible that Amos left and he still hasn't replaced him. Like,
you don't find the Mike Brown types, and I'm not saying he was as good, but like the physicality side of things, like it's hard to find a safety that's willing to.
Pace did exactly the same thing he did with Amos that he's doing with Allen Robinson. The relationship went to some fucking weird ass place, and it can never come back.
What I'm saying,
that's where shit got with Amos, and that's where shit got with Allen Robinson. Where it's like it's so personal that the money doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah, but
like,
the thing. Amos reminded me of Kyle in the sense that he, in this day and age, they could stick people legally. Like
Amos was the perfect player to play across from Eddie Jackson, and Pace let his fucking ego or whatever the fuck it up.
We had a thump and finesse safety group. Like there was an enforcer and a
seriously,
it was perfect.
Yeah, but Pace let that shit fucking blow up. And it's egos, like and I don't really care about Allen Robinson or whatever, but like I feel like if Pace was not such a fuckboy, like the deal would have been done a long time ago.
Yep, 2016, Floyd, white hair. I'll give him white hair. Bullard, Quit, and Bush. I'll give him Bush.
Whoa, Kwiatkowski.
No, but Deion Bush has been contributed.
Kwiatkowski.
He did get
white hair's been solid. I give him that.
Floyd pick's not even bad. He should have traded back, but that first round was historically bad.
The Floyd pick was really bad because we had to get Khalil Mack to cover up for it, and I love Khalil.
Well, that's what Pace does. Is that Pace goes out.
Supposed to be a Mack type player. That's where you draft that guy.
Pace goes out to buy something fucking high end. He buys a fake one, and he says, "Well, now I'm going to pay double for a real one." Like, because I just can't stand the fact that I got fucking, fucked. Like, and he's like, I'm going to throw every fucking stupid resource at fixing the mistakes. And that's where he's fucking dug himself.
Kevin White turned into Allen Robinson.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, they wanted Sammy Watkins. If Sammy Watkins didn't decide to go somewhere else, he would have signed here and Allen Robinson would not have.
And we still didn't find a wide receiver one with Robinson. I'm going to say it.
No.
Been here?
Nah. I mean, like, for us, yes, just for the Bears, but he's not WR1 on any other teams. I mean, what team is he fucking?
2018, he was pretty fucking good. He was.
He's not a game breaker though, Jared. He's fucking
No, but
disappears in the red zone.
He was twitchier in 18 than he is now. Obviously.
Yeah, he's lost a step. Yeah.
Yes, and also like 2018, there was no tape on anything. There was no tape.
You know what though? That was also a year where wasn't it the year he was like diving, like exposing his ribs and shit to try to catch balls. Like that effort's totally been out of him since the following year.
Him and Taylor Gabriel both.
He definitely had some fucking big effort in 2020. I don't think that's a fair statement.
Taylor, when he was healthy, was a little beast.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, no, he was like Mooney with more speed. I think like more straight line speed. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, Mooney is fucking dope. Like, I think it's like we're like afraid at this point to like really give any credit to Pace at all. But Mooney's a fucking find.
No, Mooney with his frame is very physical for his.
That dude just fucking like is an animal, man. Like he fucking is a dog out there. Like the way he has no business getting extra yards the way he does. That dude is tiny as fuck.
He shouldn't have to if our O-line could hold up because that dude.
How many yards he got?
He's almost got 1,000.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, that kid's a beast though. Like he's developed the physical side of
Yes, Jared, it's okay to admit that Mooney's good. I know it's hard. But it's okay to admit that he's a fucking good player.
He's good. He's a good wide receiver too.
Yeah. But he's a guy that you will see pop up on other rosters, and I always insist on using this method to say where else would they start. I believe that Mooney would be 2 or 3 on most other teams in the NFL. I could have sworn
I saw Mooney doubled at one point.
Why the fuck wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying. So it's hard to say he can't be a wide receiver 1 when we don't have anybody to complement him. You have to have distractions from your wide receiver 1.
Dan O'Donnell in the chat says, "Does Cohen come back next year?"
The money's fucking. I don't know what would they eat by getting rid of him. I don't have those numbers, but if you can get out of that contract, why wouldn't you? Khalil Herbert and Jakeem Grant.
Oh yeah, I mean they've fully moved on from him in like a we have made other plans way. But I think that if he somehow is able to come back, I don't know if they have the like.
Isn't it over $9 million though?
It's not good. I'm just saying I don't think they have the fucking balls.
Cordero money, bro.
I don't think they have the balls to cut him.
Dead cap would only be 3.5.
What would it be towards the cap?
Stats and gravy in his house.
If we kept him, it would be 5.75.
Well, that makes him cap casualty target.
Only saving 2.75.
Only that's a fucking that's dude. When I mean after they
$3 million to save 2.75.
Yeah.
Okay, but you still save it. You can't think of it that way. Like you still save the money. Like it's not like you spent the money to save the money. You were already spending it.
You're essentially replacing that loss of 2.75 million. Is it worth it?
But you're still saving the money because you've already spent 5.7. So you're saying no. I'm actually only going to spend 3. So it's still a savings. It's not like we decided to go spend the money and then we saved it. We already are spending it.
If he's healthy and he fits into the new coach's offense,
fuck all that. There's no shot.
I don't know. I think if they think that he's healthy enough to come back, I think based on the limited amount of savings you would get, I think they would be tempted to maybe see if he could stick around on a roll.
Only if Pace is still there. If Pace is gone, I don't see that.
We're missing threats. So we're missing threats like that.
I mean, is he really that anymore?
100% healthy, he definitely is. Yeah.
But dudes, when this starts happening to running backs, how often do they really get back to 100% healthy? Never.
And does Jakeem come? Well, dude, you're talking about.
But it's so rare,
like unicorn.
This shit starts adding up. It just doesn't work like that.
What about if Jakeem comes back? I think he's played that Tariq Cohen type role better than Tariq Cohen ever did.
Well, he's more of a receiving threat.
Now he made a Pro Bowl. He's going to get paid.
Yeah,
maybe.
Possibly.
I mean, how much money can you really spend on those guys? You see what Cordarrelle got, and he's turned into, quite a weapon for a horrible Atlanta team, I guess. But, like, I just, you can't really spend that much money on those guys.
Grant's a much better receiver than I gave him credit for because he had trouble with that in Miami.
Yeah. I mean, that was a decent pickup. Shout out to Pace, I guess, on that. Like, he's had some exciting moments. I mean, that's just like, it's like there's just all these things in this fucking season. Like,
I just
he
brought up
he had to trade another pick to bring in such like a small piece to the
I know, it's pathetic.
I just
think they love that dude. I don't know. I just think they fucking love that dude.
I just want
it doesn't make any sense.
I want a fresh set of eyes on the situation because he's been here.
Tariq Cohen is signed through 2023.
You know how brainwashed and Bears he is right now? They got him young, and it was his first experience as a GM with no football people. To answer to, they molded him into the perfect little Bears employee.
Bro, it's fucking Pleasantville. I mean, like,
I want fresh football fucking people that will have a direction. I don't need the fucking
Biscuits. You listen to fucking Cap and J Hood and hear J Hood talk about how it's Pleasantville.
Yeah.
You know that fucking reference where it's just like, everything's fine up here in Hallis Hall, and fucking Ryan Pace walks by with the lawnmower like, hi, Virginia! Like, it's fucking Pleasantville up there.
Unless you get a coach that can put Pace in his place, I want Pace gone.
I agree. Yeah, even if you found
like
a coach that could put him in
Sean Payton, a Jim Harbaugh. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Peyton, Harbaugh, and I think McDaniels has that type of attitude too, that they will take charge if they come here.
Yeah, I can't even entertain the thoughts of people that are actually good and make sense.
No, I mean, I don't see. McDaniels here, but he's not going to leave being the heir apparent to Belichick unless it's a perfect situation.
The McCaskies would really have to reassure all of those candidates that Ryan Pace is there to stay for the long haul if they're going to take that job.
If McDaniels is ready to move on and jump back into the head coaching game, his boy in Houston will kick Cauley so far into the sun in a fucking heartbeat.
Unless
Cauley's head will fucking spin, bro.
If the Cleveland job becomes available, though, I think they got it over them.
Nah.
Yeah.
Really?
No way.
He's an Ohio guy, bro. Yep.
Doesn't matter.
But is he really like he got rid of Cutler? You think he wants to deal with fucking Baker?
He might.
Oh, Baker's not going to be the quarterback. Baker's not getting his 5th year picked up.
No whatever he wants.
They already did.
No, they did not.
I thought they did.
No.
He would go there with so much authority because they need it. They need somebody like that to turn. You know what I mean?
Why are you firing Kevin Stefanski though? In what world does that happen?
I don't know. I don't know what the temperature.
That's what I'm saying. It's not likely he goes to Cleveland. It's Houston.
Probably not. I'm just saying,
or it's Jacksonville. McDaniels is going to be in Houston or Jacksonville.
I'm going to bring up a hypothetical, and then you know why I don't talk in hypotheticals.
But I can argue with your hypothetical. Just because it's a hypothetical doesn't mean he gets to just fucking go around unscathed, huh?
We go on hypotheticals a lot, and I'm like, where are we going?
Yeah, well, guess what? Meanwhile, nobody knows shit. That's what I'm gonna say for fucking
none of us
nobody knows shit. Not Patch Adams with the Pulitzer Prize. Nobody fucking knows shit about any of it. Not fucking Jeff Hughes and his fucking Zubas in the basement in Queens. He don't know shit. Greg Gabriel doesn't know shit. Ian Rappaport knows less than shit. Riddick don't know shit. Nobody knows except for Virginia and Ted and fucking George sitting in their weird little house in Des Plaines.
And by the way, you're wrong. Mayfield is on the 5th year option.
But they can still get out of it.
Pony bomb.
All right, fine, I'm wrong. But they can still get out of it.
Yeah, they don't have to pick it up. Did they pick it up?
They picked it up. Yes.
Oh, they did.
Well, yeah, but they can still get out of it. It's only guaranteed for injury only.
Right.
And guess who's injured and not playing week 7, week 18?
Good call, Jer. Another pony bomb.
Dang, all right, fuck. I didn't know.
Dang.
Damn,
I did something.
Fra, 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 pra, pra,
I
pra,
knew I
pra,
had heard that. I was like, man, I'm
big
not.
up, big up, big up.
This fucker was quiet for 45 minutes, then came in school
He's going.
knowledge.
Isn't Baker going in surgery?
Yeah, labrum.
Yeah, he's having surgery on his labia.
He just wants a nice slice of cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? Some
I just
fucking
want
pot
a
stickers.
new GM, new coach.
Dude, I
I mean,
eat
what-
pot stickers. Don't ruin it for me.
I just
What?
man.
Talk about Cheesecake Factory. Oh, my dog! What up? What up? We got some more Russian spies in the chat. Gavos Patatu says
Sister 19.
Sister 19 lol online. Is that a Chatterbait link? What is that?
You might be able to find that.
It's like written in the angry, like sarcastic SpongeBob font. like fucking like the fucking
Could just be our
What the
listeners in
fuck?
Russia shouting out in Russia.
Yo, like StreamYard needs one of those shits where it's like identify all the boats because these motherfuckers is sliding in. You know what I mean? Like, you are not human. Identify the buses. Am I the only one that looks at those pictures and is like kind of fucked up over them sometimes? Like you're like, wait, I think that's a bus. Like are the ones that are it's like, yo, find the traffic lights. Click on all the ones that have traffic lights, and you're sitting there going, "Fuck, I don't know if that's a traffic light." Like some of those are fucking hard, and which means the AI is just getting crazy, right?
Dan in the chat too. He brought up a point that's been talked about a lot.
We just went into like a hyperspace portal. Go ahead, Biscuit.
Well, I was gonna say we're talking about Baker and Cleveland, who goes where? Mitch going back to Cleveland. There's been a lot of
Dude,
that
I
talk
said
on
that
Twitter.
like 3 weeks ago. I'm turning into Nesby.
No.
Don't thank me later, kid.
Yeah. He's a Cleveland
Settle
guy.
down, Braylon.
He's a Cleveland guy. Why would he go back to Cleveland?
Yo, it just makes too much sense, bro. He could totally run that offense.
Right. It makes sense.
Now he's learned from a real coach in Daboll, and it makes a ton of sense for Trubisky to end up in Cleveland.
But not the head coach. Yeah, I agree, did he?
No, Stefanski's gonna stay there.
No, never mind.
It was a hypothetical, bro.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not McDaniel's going there because he's an Ohio guy.
But it doesn't make any sense. You debunked that by saying, why would Stefanski get fired?
Oh, yeah.
But do you think Stefanski's going to keep his job bringing Mitch in?
I mean, on a flyer, on a lark. I mean, they either trade for Russell Wilson. They either trade for Russell Wilson.
I'm Stefanski. I'm bringing Dalton in.
You think Russell Wilson's girl's going to go to Cleveland?
Would you rather have Dalton over Mitch in Cleveland?
Oh God!
How hot's the seat?
Where we're at, this team sucks.
You cannot
Week
bring
17 chatter.
You cannot bring fucking Dalton back to Ohio. Like Joey
Or is that
B.
how you sell it? The
Joey
return.
B is running shit in the natty, bro. Joey B's like fucking natty fucking strong right now. And you bring Andy Dalton's ass to Cleveland.
You know how much the Cincy fans would hate it, though?
They wouldn't fucking care. They got Joey B right now. They're fucking doing good. Cincy fans are happy.
So that team has probably the most upside.
They got so many weapons. They're gonna have like 3,000-yard receivers.
Yeah, remember when you were bitching about, well, how do you not take a left tackle over a wide receiver?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Really?
Like you don't want to protect. Yeah, weren't you about like protecting Burrow's blind side or something?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I don't remember saying that, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people agreed with me. A lot of people agreed with me. A lot of people thought, you should take offensive line. I mean,
I said that's his college target.
well,
bro.
and let's not fucking forget that there's a year in which that didn't work and Burrow got killed. Do you remember this? Like, this they already fucked that up once, and he had to come back from an injury. So it's like, don't act like there was already not a fuck up. Like it's like
that's the dude he was balling out in college with, though.
now they act like fucking quarterbacks getting rocked and tearing their ACLs like Tommy John surgery. Like it's like that doesn't have to happen to everybody.
No, I'm just saying the chemistry they had in college is translated right away. Like,
can I just remind everybody too about Matt Nagy that Matt Nagy passive aggressively threw fucking Justin Fields to the Wolves against the Browns. Like, he basically got told to start Fields, and it was like, oh, you think he's ready, huh? Let's see. I mean, you don't think that shit happened?
Well, I mean,
I think he threw him to the fucking Wolves.
For a guy who's coaching for his life this year, I don't know what point that would have served for him to do that. Like the whole self-sabotaging thing. Like, wouldn't the better play had to have been adjusted and
okay? Well, or he did the same. Okay, you're right. That's pretty fucking. You're right. That's cute. That's pretty out there in the conspiracy theories. But here's what's not out there: him failing exactly the same way he failed in the evaluation of Mitch. Him failing to run practices that actually allow him to evaluate the talent. Because every fucking week, Nagy actually thought, this is the week Mitch is going to get it. There's just a breakthrough that's so close. And I think he honestly thought that Fields was ready to run that offense. Like, he fucking believed the hype, and he didn't set up a scenario in which he could evaluate whether or not that was really true.
My man just served up biscuits. You had no rebuttal.
Yo, I admit when I'm fucking wrong all the fucking time.
Shout out to you, AA. You do.
I fucking admit I'm wrong all the time. Or I'll just straight up admit that I was just talking out of my ass, which happens frequently. Like,
pretty much,
you know what I mean?
Their existence.
Yeah, like this whole like, can everybody just cut the shit with like it. Yeah, I get clapped. That's fine.
The head's going down.
I'm out there in these streets, bro. I'm out there in these fucking streets. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, and it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this mentality of like basketball players now who can't get crossed up. You know, it's like getting your ankles broken is like, oh my God, he can never show his face again. It's like, you know why that happened? It's because he was actually trying to play defense. Like, anybody could ole a dude. But if you actually try to fucking stick with a dude and you get crossed up and you get your ankles broken, like, you know, at least you were fucking out there in front of guy. Like, you know, that represents defensive effort. You know who never gets their ankles broken? Like dudes who don't even fucking rotate.
Man. Getting your ankles broken is the same thing as getting posterized on a dunk, bro.
It is, but at least it represents effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get posterized
right now, hey, you got through, kid, but the effort was there.
Who's that? George McCaskey?
Yeah, you sound like George. Like hanging your hat on the fact that, well, you sucked, but you tried.
Yeah, everything else is there.
Everything else is there.
Well,
how do you feel when Jordan,
except for talent?
Like Jordan would legitimately posterize dudes, and you're like, look at that bitch, right?
Of course,
it's the same thing.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm just busting your balls, actually.
No, that's fine. Good for you. I just like it's a very half-baked point. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like it's extremely fucking
remember
soft.
Tim Hardaway when he used to do the killer crossover and fuck people up? That dude that got fucked up got fucking. If there was social media then, we would have fucking toasted him.
Right.
Yeah. Did whatchamacallit ever recover from the Iverson step over?
Well, he became like a head coach of multiple teams because he became LeBron's boy, Ty Lue.
Well, the effort was there.
I mean, you know, like whatever. Like it's not like a hard and fast rule of dudes, you know, get crossed up and they
How do you
fucking
feel
never.
when Eddie Jackson dives and misses a fucking tackle?
I feel like we're stuck paying him $15 million a year. That's a new fucking fad led by Raul and like that bear soldier guy. Like everybody's fucking trying to act like Eddie Jackson's actually awesome again. Like
no, but he's playing harder, and I thought he would be one of the first people to cash in. And he has, and I will give him that much credit. He has been playing better. He has laid a hit stick, bro, last week in a meaningless game.
Last 7 weeks, he definitely has. But I think AA nailed it in that thread, which he said his pay does not match his impact. Did I butcher that? AA? Is that what you said?
And yes, and you know what the thing is that like that's the thing is he was paid to be an impact player, and everybody told us as Bears fans
this season, hell no.
I know, but everybody fucking said, everybody that was smart said and told us Bears fans that turnover rate was not sustainable. And Eddie Jackson was such a beneficiary of a lot of lucky fucking plays. Yes, he was in the right place at the right time. Yes, he made shit happen. He did what he did. It was an awesome season. I'm not taking anything away from it, but I would say it's about 30% luck that let him have the insane.
He was getting more balls. He was getting more shit his way because we were getting pressure. And if you threw across the middle with Amos, you're injured. You're risking your receiver's life.
Right, and Fuller was fucking on point. Amos was on point. Fucking Prince Amukamara was playing good. They had a much more.
Fuller was playing huge.
Yeah, exactly. Fuller was fucking
playing good right now. There better be a Bear next year.
Who?
Angelo Blackson. Thank you.
I'm talking about defensive backs, though, Jared. Look how much has changed around him.
All the pieces have moved around.
That's what
right, but it's not time to give him a pass because we saw what we fucking saw. We watched his ass get paid and start hanging out on a boat and fucking Versace slippers.
Prime time. There was
don't fucking all of a sudden go soft on Eddie Jackson and be like the analytics actually show that he's playing really well.
Not cereal box worthy.
And you guys don't understand defensive football. It's in deep quarters. He's in deep quarters. He's only supposed to react. Fuck out of here. I can see a dude who's not good and is playing like trash.
He's closer to a milk carton than he is.
Biscuits bought the cereal, bro.
Of course he did. Did.
You got to get the milk carton with him on it too. The missing.
I have his
that
autograph.
Would be a nice combo. I think I was gonna eat it. It's really expired though. But
I got Eddie's autograph.
You should
the autograph yours?
I have his autograph.
You should definitely live stream you eating some fucking some Eddie Jackson crunch.
It's like cinnamon toast crunch.
Get in the logins.
Yeah.
What am I just gonna go lie by myself eating cereal?
Yes.
No.
But I'm just saying, you cannot unwrite the last what.
Put your magic on it, right? And we'll do a commercial for Eddie Jackson cereal.
Yo, Magic Spoon.
And see if Eddie will sponsor us.
Yo, since I started eating Magic Eddie Jackson Spoon, not only
I burned the fuck out of my food.
Yeah, not only have I been less effective, I've also given much less effort. It's the best breakfast cereal ever. I start my day feeling refreshed, and after one bowl, I feel like I want to fucking give up and die.
I'll reach out to Eddie.
That's what Bojack O's are about.
Bojack O's.
Bojack O's give you that feeling of straight giving up. Because fuck it. Bojack O's.
He has been.
Everybody could tackle.
Yeah, I'm just
What's going to separate you?
I didn't expect to see the performance we saw out of him against the Giants. I figured he'd be one.
Make a play. What's going to separate you? Everybody can tackle,
dude. He's
everybody can tackle.
He's showing more effort.
Hey, bro. Everybody.
While veteran safety Eddie Jackson pushes them to mimic his ball hawking mentality.
What separates you? You gonna make a tackle or you gonna get the football? Come on, bro.
Everybody
can tackle.
Everybody can tackle.
What's gonna separate you, bro?
What's gonna separate you, bro? Come on, bro.
A million people.
They're all looking at him like, fuck out of here. Who you talking to, mic'd up motherfucker? Who the fuck are you talking to? They're looking at him like, shut the fuck up, man. Who the fuck is you talking to? Nobody listening to that shit. Everybody's looking at Eddie like, who, bro? Like, what? Mic'd up ass.
I'm not talking about the example on the field, but what he said was correct to the young guy.
Eddie Jackson was a mic'd up trick in that clip, bro. Everybody's looking at him like, you trick ass. You're not. Nobody's fucking listening to you. Like, that motherfucker talking about tackling is like me talking about lifting weights, bro.
All right, you good? Did you get your nut off? Because it's my turn now for a minute.
Just saying, he's a trick. He's a trick ass fucking mark, bro.
Say is if you listen to
mark.
Cool. Peanut Tillman made a living out of getting the ball to be turned over. What he was saying to the young guys, I agree with. He hasn't set that example all season. But I agree with what he's telling them.
Sure, the statement may be true, but when it comes from that source, it's clown. It's clown bullshit. Like, just because I'm speaking the truth, if I'm a fucking clown, nobody's going to believe my ass. You think anybody thinks that coming from him means a fucking anything? Shit. That motherfucker is just
why the fuck is Justin Fields?
Trick.
Why the fuck is Justin Fields listening to Andy Dalton and Nick Foles right now, old motherfuckers?
Because that's how bad. because that's how bad Nagy is.
No, man. I mean, I think players talk to players differently than coaches do. So even if a veteran is giving you
Yo,
advice,
I've watched that clip so many fucking times. Nobody who's watching him is like, "Oh yeah, bro, thank you." Like they're like, "Fucking fuck you, Mike the bitch."
I understand what you're saying from a fan perspective, but if a veteran player is giving you advice, you listen. That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling you, nobody in that clip is listening. I've watched it 1,000 times. Everybody's looking at him like, "What? Fuck you think you are?" No tackling ass trick. Like, come on, man.
You saw that in a helmet, bro?
Yes, goddamn it. You could tell if somebody's paying attention to somebody. I don't need to see dude's eyes. You could tell when a player's like, they ain't fucking taking his ass seriously.
In the summer out on the field all day, yeah, we can definitely read their.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Read me. Am I paying attention?
Dudes are hot as fuck out there. They're probably.
Yo, I was one of the first people that was on that clip. I was one of the first people that posted that shit. I'm not trying to fucking toot horns,
I told you.
That shit was fucking viral. When I put that out, I was like, I couldn't believe it when that came on. I was like, what the fuck did he say? And he said that?
We were hot.
Oh my God, and it just kept going.
I guess I'm more defeated now, so I'm trying to find positives.
He hasn't had a turnover in almost 3 years now.
Yes, bro. Like, I mean, Jesus.
But I do agree the message. I get what he was trying to say.
It's not
magnified at the timing when you're
the messenger matters. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, like that. It's not only is it horrible optics for him to be saying that at all. It's just a fucking crock that anybody's actually looking at him and going, "Yeah, thanks, Bojack. I'm gonna do it." Like, fucking turnover bucket bullshit. Like, come on.
That was Desai. That was your boy. That was the guy
I know.
we were all excited about.
I know.
Yo, I want to talk about keeping Desai even with a new coaching staff. What do you all think about that? I know ultimately it's up to the new head coach, but
you don't force that on a new head coach.
Personally, I would not. Like, they have basically tried to recapture the Fangio magic twice, and it hasn't really happened. So it's time to fucking give somebody a new, fresh stab at this. Like, they tried to get, fucking Pagano to, like, recapture the Fangio magic by not changing the fucking terminology.
We're talking about there's actual talk about keeping pace on Desai, just replacing the head coach now. It's like we need change, guys. Like, we need change.
I know. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I just don't trust these fucking. My eyes are my source.
No, I'm just saying realistically. Like, no, I don't want it.
No, nobody wants it. But you fucking, like, you start making concessions, start lying to yourself when you're a Bears fan. You start.
Oh yeah, the defense is great. Look at the stats because we held a shitty team to minus 10 yards passing. We move up to, like, what are we, 5th or some shit in total defense?
No.
There are problems.
Not at all. In yards, but in points they're like 21st in points.
Total defense.
We're not getting any change if we force.
I don't know. Somebody got it. Like somebody who's smarter than me. Speak on the DVOA because the DVOA ain't good,
dude. So, like, to all these people out there really thinking that Desai should stay, like, unless the new head coach wants to hire him, that needs to be a decision. If you're bringing a head coach that's willing to accept that, that's not the head coach we need.
That's a good point.
Good point.
Dan O'Donnell says, whose call was it to have Thomas Graham only play 4 plays?
He's talking about the chat instead of me. Thank you, Biscuits, for noticing.
My bad.
No, I appreciate you noticing, man.
Oh.
Anyway, whose call was that? I think that's a thing where maybe fucking Desai, who's just been in the background his whole career.
I can't see the comment. What are we talking about?
I just interrupted you to read it. Can you listen while I'm interrupting you? Dan O'Donnell says, whose call was it? Jesus. Like, if I start interrupting you, you should stop and immediately just start listening. Oh, what's he saying? How important. Whose call was it to have Thomas Graham only play 4 snaps? Ryan Pace. I don't know who. The fucking DB coach?
Whose call was it to play Peters over Jenkins?
Giddy, how many times did you say, like, we're hiring the fucking coach, the position coach of a unit that's underperforming? Like, I mean, dude has been in the background. I'm just saying maybe he doesn't have the balls to to say Thomas Graham should start over Ryan Pace's fucking next, like misguided signing. I don't know. I mean, it's
Shout out JR, by the way. The Bears are 5th in yards per game and defense, but they're 21st in scoring allowed.
it's exactly what I fucking said.
All right,
Exactly what I said.
Shout out me, 21st. I said 21st.
Shout out loud, funny man.
Scoring defense. 5th in total yards.
But that's not total defense.
Neither
The
is
points
allowed.
matters more than yards, I think.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but anyway.
But no, you're right. You all were both right, okay? Is everyone
Damn,
feeling
I'm
better?
don't be stingy with the shout outs, bro.
Damn, fuck. My
Damn,
bad.
fuck, damn.
So let's go around real quick because
Round.
we probably won't be talking about this till Black Monday. But
Okay.
top 3 head coaches, like just spin around, and we'll start with Biscuits. The top 3 guys that you want to see here.
It's going to be the same, just in different orders, probably.
Maybe
Actually, it
not.
might surprise you. McDaniels is one.
Yeah.
No particular order, not ranked in order, but McDaniels, Dave Tobe,
No.
and I'm going to stick with Alex Van Pelt. Just to
Jesus
spite
Christ. Just because that's the Tyler Bray of fucking coaching candidates. Like Alex Van Pelt's hilarious.
All right, Joe, how about you, man?
Well, I am going to
Bobby
say...
Knight!
You can get him up there.
That was great.
Yeah, sure, at your ass.
Larry
I'm gonna
Bird!
say, I'm the one guy that we... God damn it. The one guy we agree on is McDaniels. If you can get Ryan Day and that offensive coordinator out of Ohio State, that'd be awesome, in my opinion. And then I could be swayed to Harbaugh, but man, it's a hard sell.
All right.
Bob Huggins! That's my third coach.
Huggy Bear.
Woo!
All right, Double A, who you got?
Huh? Bro, I don't even care. Just wake me up when it happens. Like, seriously, like I'm not at the point where I can like fucking
You can't
honestly.
just like go along for one goddamn minute.
Oh, I'm just being real.
Throw up
I'm just
3
being
out there
fucking
that you
real.
wouldn't
Like
want.
I can't even make myself fall in love with a coaching candidate because I'm
I
so
didn't tell you to
scarred.
get in bed with them. I just told you to spit off 3 names.
We
bro.
fucking all right.
Can't play the bit, then hits you with a Nagyism. That's real.
Yeah, that's real now. That's real. I'm just being real now. That's real.
All right, Mike Furry, number 1 for sure.
Yeah, Mike Murray, number
I'm not
1
saying-
with a bullet.
I'm not saying this is etched in stone, bro. Just like
He actually
Yeah.
put
Yeah,
it
I
out on
threw out
Twitter.
Alex Van
He
Pelt.
actually
Yeah,
put
you
his-
can't come up with 3 names.
I actually put his out on Twitter as one time.
No, I said that's what I think is going to happen. It's not what I
what do you
fucking
want
think I
to
should.
happen? As a just your fandom, what do you want to happen?
Okay, so like if I really had like a realistic, like no Sean Payton, no Tomlin. That's the most crock of shit, pie in the
wanna
sky
throw
bullshit.
Tomlin in
No,
mine
it can
if
be your
that's-
fantasy. I don't give.
But
a
there are Bears
shit.
fans that are convincing themselves that Tomlin might be available and that Sean Payton is a guy we would trade for.
All right, if
That's the
Tomlin-
kind of crack that's being smoked.
I don't care. Hypothetical, it doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
3
No,
names.
but I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to smoke that fucking rock.
I'd like it on the record that Alex Van Pelt's gone and Tomlin's on
All right,
the
let me
list now.
let
I'm
me
just
let,
saying.
let me break
No,
AA
we're not
down here.
allowing that. We're not allowing that.
First AA starts off with I don't want to even name names. I don't even want. Now he's like, well, I'm not going to be hypothetical about it. Now it's all official. Like you're not etching this shit in stone, bro.
No, I'm not talking about not being hypothetical. I'm just fucking not. Like, hypothetical is Josh McDaniel. Hypocritical is fucking, like fucking, like hypodermic needle filled with
Josh McDaniels
drugs
could be
is
available.
fucking Tomlin and Sean Payton. Like, fuck out of here. Like,
McDaniels
people actually
will-
having long ass conversations going back and forth about this shit.
Yeah, but
Are
the
you
realism
kidding?
is Josh McDaniels will have interviews.
Motherfuckers were talking about fucking Pete Carroll on Twitter today.
Dude,
That Pete Carroll-
Josh McDaniels legitimately is getting interviewed. It's not.
Oh
like saying
yeah,
Tom.
and he will get interviewed. He will fucking get interviewed. I don't know. I mean, if it's like regular ass dudes, like real candidates. I mean, I still think Dable. I like Dable. I like what he's done.
We got one. Holy shit!
It wouldn't be the fucking worst thing, I guess, if Leslie Frazier was you know. I mean, I could be convinced to be happy about Leslie Frazier. You know, you know, the fucking thing I said that I thought would happen would be Pace moves up, Champ Kelly moves up, fucking Leslie Frazier comes and he brings Ken Dorsey as the offensive coordinator and decides stays. That's what I said. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'll fucking jump off a bridge." I'm like, "No, you wouldn't. Like, you'd be all right."
I think I'd rather have Jim Caldwell than Leslie Frazier.
Why?
It's like picking a shotgun to the left foot or a shotgun to the right foot.
Because he's had success as a head coach, more success as a head coach, I guess.
I mean, you look at what
He
he
won
did.
11 games in one season. in
Yeah,
Detroit.
it went
that's pretty
9-7,
amazing.
9-7, 7-9, 11-5. That's.
I mean, dude, you could do so much worse than Jim Caldwell. Like, to be
It'd just
honest,
be boring as hell. It'd be a boring.
I'd rather have Frazier because if you look, like, you can tell the personality of a coach by the way their defense plays.
Yeah.
And Buffalo's defense is pretty damn good.
Yeah, but they've also gone out and like fucking, you know, gotten some studs for it. Like, it's not like they don't have studs on that defense. They fucking have players.
They put together a good group.
But
of guys.
overcome
there
injuries.
was no huge celebrity names when they got there.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, you got to give credit to the fucking, you know, the whole operation out there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what if Leslie Frazier and Ken Dorsey, who a lot of people give a ton of credit for,
Caldwell's team's personality-wise, I've never really seen a Caldwell vibe. You don't.
I know there isn't one. It's fucking. It's just like flatline, like. You know,
Frazier,
I mean, he's like
you see what he does. With
he's like Dick Geron, you know, like Caldwell. He's fucking seems like he's probably a nice guy. Probably guys want to fight for him, but he's like, you know, he's even more soft spoken than like Lovey. You know, I don't know. Like,
You might
I'm not sure
with Justin.
I'm not sure how that would play. Here.
I'm just saying, if you're going to go with a flat ass hire like that, I'd rather have a guy who's offensively.
It's flat both ways.
I just think
I agree with that.
At this point, the Bears maybe didn't actually think that Harbaugh was an option, and now they might. But I'm saying, like, you never know. Now they might get confused, and this might be a wag the dog moment where it's like all of a sudden they think they can get him, and then if he decides to come to Chicago. If he decides to come, he will absolutely just take all the other candidates out of the contention.
I could completely see Harbaugh just giving them a little sniff, and the Bears he's like, I don't want Pace there though. They fire Pace. Harbaugh goes back to Michigan. And they have to reset, and it's too late. Like,
right? I mean, anything's possible, bro. They're the Bears. I mean, the Bears could fuck this up 17 different ways before brunch.
And then they say Bill Polian and Tony Dungy. I'm sorry, those names just don't.
Yeah, well, it's like a limp dick convention, bro. Like, come on, like fucking, like Bill Polian and Tony Dungy getting together.
The Super Bowl, bro. How long ago was that?
Like Bill Polian and Tony Dungy getting together to fucking recommend Jim Caldwell is just like, oh my god, the milk fucking. I don't know if it's even the warm milk is out, bro, on that plan. Oh, what a fucking party. Those dudes like, would you like another bottle of water, Bill? Thanks, Tony.
It's not that for me. It's like,
yeah, they were responsible.
They were responsible for that Super Bowl beatdown we got.
Yeah, I mean,
bring them here Bears, and throw it in our face. I'm like,
yeah, like it's just so limp dick. It's just the limpest dick. Like, it's just fucking noodle ass.
All the wells you could have drawn from, though. You had to do it to the team that we lost.
Well, apparently, you know, they're like part of some fucking, like, we admit we need help, like, NFL leadership committee. You know,
you think the Steelers would ever do that?
Hey,
Tony, come help us determine.
You think George fucking Halas would ever do that shit? George Halas turn over in his fucking grave if he said the limp dick shit that's going on with his team. Like, George Halas.
I wanted Ozzie Newsome, somebody like
George Halas would fucking hire a gardener just to do it, you know, just because he's convicted about it before he would fucking allow.
It's like just Bears, like Bill Polian. Who's even mentioned that name?
Nobody,
Isn't
bro.
it?
It's trash.
ESPN guy.
He's almost 80 years old, bro. It's like Ernie Accorsi.
Yeah. Ernie Accorsi, who brought the Giants Gettleman. And the Giants are like, the Bears are horrible and the Giants are actually worse. They both got Accorsi's fingerprints all over them.
But they got two top
Good
15 picks and can be under 40 million under the cap or 35 million under the cap.
But
By
they have
next season.
holes everywhere on that roster.
35 million ain't shit. We're more than that. I mean, yeah, we have our fucking, but you know, at least we have a quarterback picked. They have fucking Daniel Jones, who's trash.
Oh, let's not talk too much shit now. He needs to improve, bro. Like,
He's bad.
Who,
He
Justin?
can't have
Yeah,
Daniel
Justin.
Jones.
I'm just saying,
Shut
let's not act like he's arrived. Like,
No, but at least you're still on the front end of being hopeful about him. If you're so hopeful about Daniel Jones, like you're missing something.
I don't
Like,
know about that.
no, he's done. He's over. Like, the league ain't got time to fucking fix Daniel Jones. Nah, he's out. Like, it's over for him. They have to fucking tear that thing down to the studs. Like, if they,
Okay.
All right.
I just like realistically,
I
you
agree
see
with you on
Daniel
that,
Jones
but-
fucking making a comeback. Fuck no.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, if they pick up his 5th-year option and roll with Joe Judge, oh my God, they're
You saw that O-line,
so
right?
bad. Well, what, the O-line? They fucking have better players than the Bears.
Mm. On the O-line?
That O-line sucks, bro. Out
They
loud.
spent a ton of money on it.
Yeah,
They-
Nate
they-
Solder's been
They
a
had
huge
guys
disappointment.
retire and get injured.
Solder's been a fucking, I mean, they threw a lot of money at that O-line. It's
They
not from
lost
lack
their
of trying.
center.
You remember when Will Hernandez was a thing?
He's still a good player.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's as good as Cody Whitehair.
Thomas is a good tackle though.
It's
That's
weird.
about it.
It's the same
And you
thing.
know who got him finally?
They ran
Got his-
block. They blocked the run well, but the pass protection's horseshit.
Robert Quinn beat that good tackle that I ain't giving up a sack for 4 games.
Yeah.
Beat him like a drum.
Glennon is a fucking statue, like, I mean, I get it.
Hey, we hadn't mentioned it yet, so Robert Quinn breaking the sack record.
Yeah,
16 games.
That's cool.
No,
I am glad he did it in 16 games too. So you never have to hear that
doesn't make it-
conversation.
Yeah, because
It-
Richard
it is
Dent wouldn't
cool,
even
man.
acknowledge it otherwise.
It's cool because it's not another contract. We're like, son of a bitch.
Richard
we were
Dent.
there last
Oh
year.
yeah, no, I'm good with it. I'm happy for Quinn. I maintained from way back that he was dealing with shit and he was fucking hurt. I mean, I was
He's
never like.
relentless. He's just fun to watch, man.
I was never one of these guys that was like, oh fuck that guy, he's not trying. Like, I think he's trying. I just think he was hurt, and I think he was all fucked up from everything that was going on, social justice wise, pandemic wise. Like, he was just not himself, and it wasn't the greatest fit in the world either. Like,
I was dead wrong. I called him homeless.
Could you see a scenario where this defense bounces back in a big way with Mac and him firing on all cylinders?
Did you
I don't know.
Did you just see what you saw? Yeah.
I like what Travis Gibson
Hell
is.
yeah.
I like that shit. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's
But how
something that
much of
happened.
that was the Giants though? What does this defense play like against a top tier
I-
team like the Bengals or
You
something?
can
It's just-
say that about everybody but Robert. You can say that about everybody but Robert Quinn.
We had 4
that
takeaways against the Bengals.
Yeah, I
that
thought we were
should
talking about moving
happen.
forward next
Oh.
year.
Yeah, moving
year.
forward.
Right. Jared, yes, the answer to that question should be yes, but for some reason, I just don't know, because for some reason with the Bears, whatever we think is going to happen is not what happens. So, like, it's like, nobody would have ever
I think
predicted
we
that
found
Robert
a
Quinn,
We found a Nickelback in Thomas Graham. I think
Yeah.
so.
right? But just to finish this point is that nobody would have ever thought fucking Robert Quinn would have done this, especially with no Khalil Mack. And that's why it happened. If we had predicted him to do this, it would never have happened. And so you could say, yes, Mack will come back and this should happen X, Y, and Z, but for some reason, that's just not how shit works. Like it's like the Nagy and Pace continue to like back into things and find shit by accident, but everything that they're trying really hard to make sure works out doesn't. Everything they pour all their efforts into doesn't fucking work.
It seems like Robert Quinn always has one of these seasons too. He had one of those seasons with the Rams where he broke the season record for the Rams.
Play
in
him
St.
on the
Louis.
line. He loves playing on the line.
Yeah, all he needs to do is be fucking Derek Thomas, hand in the dirt, and just fucking going around the edge. Like, stop doing anything else with him. Stop.
Does
Because,
this season for Quinn sour you on Khalil Mack at all?
No, absolutely not. No.
I mean,
can
just
see-
the fact that Mack has never done this level of production, and the whole knock on Floyd was, well, we need someone on the opposite of Khalil to free Khalil up to do this. But look at guys like Quinn, TJ Watt, who get double
He
teams
hasn't been
every week and have
healthy.
produced. But he hasn't been healthy since 2018. So it's like, does it make
I
you at
don't-
least look back at it and
I think we
readmire
could-
a little bit?
Would you make that trade now, knowing what you know now? I don't know.
Probably, because I still think Ryan Pace would have blown those 2 first-round picks. But
Yeah.
I look at it now and I'm like, well, why can't Mack have done the same thing that Quinn's doing without him?
I think Mac bought Nagy and Pace more time.
100%.
I'll just say that Robert Quinn is a different kind of rush too. He's an outside speed where
Got better
Mac's trying to get you with power
You know,
and
and Mack's a
physicality.
better run defender too. I mean, they're different players.
Well, he plays a wider technique too. He wants to get a bull rush on the outside and just come crashing in almost like a wide 9.
But and that's when they finally just said, you know what, just do what you fucking do. And eventually what happens is eventually he gets home. It's like, everybody that was trying to get too cute with him. And I think
coaching to your talent.
Right. And I think to some degree, because Khalil Mack, does get doubled so much, and he kind of got, I don't know, I think Fangio kind of like got people going with this idea that Mack should do all these different things. And it's like, no, Mack should do what he fucking does best.
That's a good point.
Like,
But also, now you bring a whole new fresh set of eyes in. If you got Quinn playing like that, dude, Mac, you can't double team Mac at a certain point. Like,
right.
In theory, they're not really doubling Quinn though a lot that I've seen, to be quite honest.
The next piece that will have to be fixed is the defensive tackle position. I mean, you're not going to keep.
I think you're all right. I think Goldman's gone, and you got Tonga, and I think you bring back Blackson. I'm actually not that worried about that position group. I think Goldman's been out.
The Giants fully knowing that all they had was a running game nearly rashed for 100 yards with Saquon Barkley,
well, that's
who
what you
hadn't
gotta
even
think,
sniffed
too.
it.
Is this defense better? I mean, they may switch to a 4-3 with a new coach. Who knows? I mean, Bilal Nichols can play inside too, if that's the case. Like, we have versatility there, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that becomes an issue though, because who else is there? You're going to sign Mario Edwards again?
That's why
I think Blackson's got another year, right?
I don't believe
I
so.
thought it was a 3-year deal. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I'm not sure about Blackson's contract. I agree that
It might have been 1 year.
I agree that changing the defense might not be the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I could see them going with more of a
You were right there.
Old school Tampa 2.
2022. He's signed through next year.
Good. He's the most consistent defensive tackle we've had.
I mean, now you're putting, if you put like Quinn and Mac's hand in the dirt, that's a whole different dynamic. At the same time,
That's what I'm saying is like
there could be something there, man.
Like,
because Roquan would be a great cover 2 linebacker.
Like, I just feel like, when you have those type of guys that can be that disruptive, you just let them do what they do. And yeah, it's not going to work every single time, but the times when it does work, like, it's game changing, it's disruption, it's fumbles, it's strip sacks, but it's like, oh no, let's get cute and try to be deceptive. It's like, well, no, how about you just fucking let your best guys be themselves and beat the fucking other team.
That's why we need a reset to the coaching staff.
Right. And I'm good with that. I think that's maybe, in reality, I don't want to, I'm just saying, like, I feel like if you expect George and Ted to clean the slate, they basically have to admit that everything they said last year before the season was a lie. And I don't think they're willing to do that. I think they still have to believe some of what they said. because I think they do believe some of what they said. I think they believed what they told us about there being so much in place.
Collaborate, they could just rhyme it with like calibrate, and then maybe try to trick us into thinking that they believe what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean they should. You know, we know the Bears. The Bears fans. The Bears fans just inebriate to fucking make it fucking. You know, make it all okay.
Recalibration. That could be the new one.
Yeah, I mean, guaranteed. Like they're already fucking coming up with some shit. But that's what I'm saying is they're not willing to completely go down to nothing and come from the ground up again because they believe a lot of what they said.
But they got dragged in the media for that. They know how it.
They don't care.
I don't know.
They don't care. I mean, I'm just saying, like, or they're so tone deaf that they don't understand. You know, I think it's a combination. Like, I think they're so used to being maligned and fucking, you know, at least Ted is. Ted's used to being shit on. Ted don't care. Ted's Teflon as fuck. George, I think he wants to be liked, but, you know, I don't think he knows what the fuck to do.
He was in charge of ticket sales before he took that position.
Yeah, and I'm sure he was terrible at that too. You know? Like, it's a fucking business. Like, people have to understand that it's all about the business first. The winning, if it happens, fine. But they've already monetized one game 35 years ago for eternity. Like
the guy that has the final say.
Cubs.
The guy that has the final say was in the ticket box office.
I agree, man. But that's what the Bears are. They're a fucking amazing
doughboy
product.
Hey, look at the doughboy.
And they're you know, they're perfectly interwoven with his history and a little bit of mom and pop fucking thing, and then the SNL shit and the fuck. Like, it's such a fully formed, like,
that stadium tour was like an SNL skit.
Yes. And they know it and they embrace it. That's why, like, fucking. That's why, like, assholes, like, fucking, you know, fucking tape doesn't lie. Fucks that try to say "duh" is like stupid or irrelevant. It's like, tell that to literally fucking every Bears fan, the team itself, like every media outlet. It's like, yeah, you're the only ones that are right and everybody else is wrong. Okay. Guy had fucking "duh" on his wedding shit. Like the most hypocritical shit. Like we pissed them off so much that they fucking lied to themselves just to try to get back at us. Like, it's fucking crazy. That was stupid anyway. Oh, okay. Get the fuck out of here. It's just a great product, and they don't give a fuck about winning that much because winning's hard. You know, winning is like, you know, you have to make difficult decisions.
I don't know if they don't care about winning. I just think it's just another level of ineptitude. That
they don't have to care, though. Like, they don't have to care about winning.
I can't say that yet because I honestly need to see what moves that are made.
I mean, I think they hope they win. I don't think they don't care if they win. I think they want to win.
I think they know what's the current state of things.
They want to be compelling. They don't care if they win. They want to be compelling.
And people talk about
be the fucking Cubs.
No,
Look at the fucking Cubs, though.
Yeah.
They want to be the Cubs. But they don't have to be good.
Right.
They just have to sell seats, and they fucking we're the Cubs, and we can sell that forever, and that's all they've ever wanted.
You win more, you sell more.
We're not getting Theo. Theos are fucking unicorns, bro.
Yeah. Look at the Patriots. Look at the Patriots' value before and after Brady.
The Cubs were a product long before Theo was there. They didn't have to win. They didn't have to win a fucking baseball game. People would go out there and get hammered.
Yeah.
And we're going to the Cubs game. The destination. And then they won, yes, and that helped. But I'm just telling you, the Cubs were an established
and this is coming
party,
from Cardinals fan.
Good time. Yes, and
he's not wrong, though. He's not wrong. I mean, they were fucking. The Tribune Company was like scalping their own tickets. Like, it was a shit show.
Hey, now it's a destination, like an amusement park, though.
Yeah,
but it was that before, dude. It was like
that before.
It was absolutely the biggest outdoor bar in the city, and the nostalgia and all that shit was already flowing. Theo didn't make that happen. That already was happening.
Go to historic Wrigley Field and see the Ivy,
bro.
No, Theo actually like made them spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
He hasn't made them
Billions.
any money yet. Actually,
billions with a B.
like they're and whoever ran that project fucking overran it. They just found out what it's like to try to do shit in Chicago. Like, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, motherfuckers take you to the cleaners. They had like $500 million overrun in cost of that huge project that they undertook.
Oh, the Howard Union guys.
It's Chicago, my guy. Like nobody fucking sharpens a pencil without fucking being union when they're talking about shit like that. Like, you know, you don't blow your nose on a project like that if you're not fucking Teamsters. And like, I mean, come on. Like, you know, they fucking and Ricketts are naive as fuck, and they got fleeced. And so I believe them when they say they were fucking, oh my God, we lost a bunch of money. They did.
Yeah, they did.
You know, and
the renovation of that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's
and the city was like, yeah, you're paying for everything. Oh, and the Ricketts were like, okay, cool.
cool. We
And
can.
then the fucking contractors and the union took their ass to the fucking cleaners.
And they still paid it. You know why?
Of course they did, because they don't have any choice. Because and they started their bust ass network, and that shit was like a hot fucking turd.
Marquee is terrible.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like the Bears have a good thing going. They don't want to fuck it up. It's the only thing they have. That family has nothing. Jared, Diddy's fully tired of listening, and that's fine.
No, my eardrums are.
Oh, word. Oh, word. That's cool.
Came in hot there for a minute. It's just Cubs talk. I had it zoned out.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. But you just have to know the history, man. Like it didn't have anything to do with Theo. Like they were already a bullshit product, in a stadium that was basically a landmark that was full of road fans every fucking game.
Like Shaft. Who's that motherfucker that reversed to curse? Theo.
Yeah, I guess.
Nobody cares.
Bullshit.
Wow.
Cares.
No, they care.
The Sox and the Cubs.
I believe that the Cubs winning is the only reason that the fucking White Sox started caring, and it's one of the big reasons why the Bears started caring again, because they saw what it's fucking like when shit like that happens. I'm just saying, like the pressure, I think the pressure got turned up on all the local teams by the Cubs finally winning.
And how accessible is Theo Epstein?
Super accessible because he's a G. Like
he'll go on radio spots. He'll do whatever.
I'm not even a Cup fan. When he goes on and talks, oh my God, like that dude's like fucking. Not only is he a genius, but like the way he explains shit, it's just so perfect. Like he's like that dude just fucking like you can't hate that guy. When he's talking, you're like, yes, Theo, whatever you say. These are the greatest ideas anyone has ever had. Thank you very much. Like, he has you fucking ready to believe anything he says. And it's not snake oil shit. It's like he's kicking so much knowledge that you can't even, you can't even help but just be like, yep, correct, absolutely. Right.
He's smart enough to come in.
He's going to end
he's
hopefully
smart enough to go to the Bears and change shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely he fucking could. Like, and hopefully somehow Rob Manfred like fucking, falls into a manhole or something, and like so that Theo can end up, the commissioner. That's baseball chat. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that the Bears will do enough. Like, I still don't trust them to, we say they need to start over. I don't trust them to do it.
The Bears ownership is content with being mediocre.
They're just used to
until proven otherwise.
Virginia still lives in her shitty like average ass house in Des Plaines.
That's all I think it comes down to. Bad.
They try.
I think they looked at Ryan and Matt last year and truly believed they were the guys that would right the ship.
Mediocrity.
No, they just wanted to. They just wanted to trust them.
Achieving mediocrity and hoping for mediocrity are two different things, Jer. You can. I don't see any decisions that I can point to the McCaskies and say, yep, they're content with being mediocre. They showed up on Julius Pepper's doorstep at midnight with a boatload of cash. They traded away a shit ton, showed up at Mac's door, gave him a boatload of cash. Is that being content with mediocrity?
The Cutler deal, when it happened, we were all floored.
It's huge. It's just they just make bad decisions. I think that's all it is. I don't think they're sitting up there like, ha, another 8-8 season. Perfect. They just suck. That's all it is.
Maybe not all of them, but I can see where Ted would be like, okay.
No, I agree. I don't think it says you're right, because it's not quite as nefarious as that. But when they fall back into mediocrity, it doesn't really hurt them. Like they know
over their head.
Oh, true, because the Bears are a brand, 100%
right.
for sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's like all they have to do is stir shit up and make the Bears relevant again, and it's a maelstrom of money. Like it just.
So you're saying their call to action is maybe not as dire because they have the brand to follow.
Yeah, I mean, like realistically, is anybody going to? No, that's what I'm saying. It's like nobody's replacing Ted, nobody's replacing George. I mean, what's at the end of the day, the fan base isn't going anywhere.
You could keep the family owning team, but just have a different talk. It doesn't have to be George. It doesn't have to be a family member being the head of it. You could.
But the fan base is not going away, and so there's little accountability for them.
They could elect somebody to take over for George that's actually a football person. It's a family.
Stop them. We're not talking about Hollis. Sorry, my bad.
They could, but you really think that,
or a football executive, at least with some executive experience,
right? But do you really think that Pat Ryan is gonna, Pat Ryan's like 80 years old. Like, you think he's really gonna push George out?
Yeah, you crushed my spirit with that, AA, in the chat.
Huh? What?
I didn't realize he was that old until you said that. I was like,
oh my God, Pat Ryan! When Pat Ryan couldn't get the Olympics, that was like it for him. He's washed now. Like, and now he was old then. That was fucking 2009, and when the Olympic Committee that he was in charge of, that was his baby, failed miserably. Brazil came and was like, nah, and they thought, they thought they were getting the Olympics. Everybody thought Chicago was getting it. The whole fucking city was ready to fucking celebrate, even though I think it would have been whack, but. And then when it didn't happen, it was like, oh my God, the air was out of the balloon. And Pat Ryan's never been the same since then. That was
why did you think hosting the Olympics would have been whack?
Because it's just more misappropriation of funds. The same fucking people,
buildings that don't get reused.
Yeah, the same fucking insane overruns on projects. There was a point where there was a plan where they were going to really put a ton of money into the CTA and redoing the transit system, but at some point that got pulled, and as soon as that got pulled, I was like, nah, I'm out. Because it's just what it would just end up being is what it is for a lot of Olympic cities. Look at the history of Olympic cities after the Olympics leave. The Olympics leave cities in fucking financial ruin. They leave cities full of completely just horrifying civic projects that are in decay, overruns on costs. Oh my God, the Olympics is terrible for cities. Look into it, bro.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, the Olympics is horrifying for cities. It fucks cities up. And, and Chicago, any kind of project fucks Chicago up because there's so much, glad handing and fucking, old school, this guy's got to get paid, that guy's got to get paid bullshit, that I just knew it would be an absolute shit show. I think while it was happening, it'd probably be pretty cool. But the aftermath of it and the amount of money, that would get spent on it and what would be left in its wake would not be worth it. We should
definitely move to Arlington Heights. Definitely, if we have to deal with all that bullshit to build a new stadium, definitely Arlington Heights.
No, the reason you move to Arlington Heights is because it's not Chicago. Arlington Heights will fucking roll out the red carpet. If Rosemont would roll out the red carpet, fucking any of the suburbs
Heights doesn't seem willing to roll out that red carpet yet. Yeah. They're not willing to commit any money to it. That purchase contract still has to close. I think it's a little bit farther away than what people think.
It's so much easier. It's not going to be fucking, okay, maybe roll out the red carpet's a little overstating it, but it's not going to be trying to get shit done in Chicago. To get, do you understand that the Bears almost moved to Gary, Indiana? You know how real that was?
Yeah.
That was real.
They're buying enough to have the footprint to do it without bothering anybody there in Arlington Heights.
There's a lot more to it, and you know, I think what Business is saying is absolutely true, but I also think like it's just still going to be easier than Chicago.
Bro, they shot down the Lucas Museum near the lake.
Yeah, I know. It's
That's
fucking
what
ridiculous.
They're paying the ass. Like you're going to try to build a stadium there.
Kind of thing, anything that makes sense and is cool, someone in Chicago will like make their political career shooting it down. Like it's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Like it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, you know, the way, you know, the way that fucking shit rolls here is fucking crazy. Like,
back to this Giants game. Like, do you guys have a defensive player of the game?
Angelo Blackson, done.
Needed to set you up there, Pony.
Angelo Blackson.
Want to elaborate on that, Jer? Can you give us the game film breakdown of Blackson?
No. Go watch it.
He was fucking good. He got all up in their grill pieces. Woo!
He's like I kept saying, he's been the most consistent defensive lineman on this team.
No, he shows up, man. The guy shows up on tape.
Yep.
Guy's fucking making plays. He's in there a lot. He's got snaps just keep going up. He just fucking keeps doing it.
Who you got, AA?
I mean, I guess you fucking have to give it to Quinn, right? But wait, hold on. I'm giving it to Eddie Jackson that nobody knows how awesome he is but me.
Okay, so Eddie Jackson?
Yes. Nobody knows how awesome he is but me and my analytics.
I know who Brian's going with. I got an idea.
Yeah. Biscuits, who you got?
I hope I don't take him, but I'm going to go with Travis Gibson.
Yeah!
Ooh, the Thor.
All right, go ahead. You take him. I got somebody else.
No, go ahead.
No, I thought, if sacks aside, I thought he made a bigger impact of the game than Robert Quinn did, the young guy who's really stepped it up here past couple weeks.
And because he took him, I got to take Quan, man. That dude's like about to break Urlacher's like tackle record for a season or some shit, right? Isn't he up there?
Yep.
I don't
like. He's playing out of his mind, man. Like
he's close to it.
He's been that way. I guess the season award, but he's been that way since like the voluntary camp. He showed up when the other veterans didn't. Like he's just been dialed in. He's fucking played great this season, man. So my guy's Quan.
Oh yeah, it's come a long way since his Bella on a boat days.
And for the season, I'm saying that's my guy defensively, even though we didn't wrap the season up yet. It's been
yet.
I agree.
What did I see on social media? The first
they passed Urlacher. Wow. He's got 157 tackles. Urlacher had 153 that year in 2002.
Beast.
Damn.
Beast.
Good call, Diddy.
He is a beast, bro.
Playing hard.
Again.
Well, we're gonna pay him $20 million, Beast, too.
Yep. How about it?
The thing that made Urlacher different, obviously, is that, you know, he made impactful plays on the ball, interceptions, things of that nature. And I think where Diddy says, you know, he'd be a great cover two middle. I agree.
Derek Brooks, bro. Derek Brooks all day.
100%.
Right. That's why I would like to see them go with more cover. And I know they're not playing in the base package much, but I would like to see Roquan be able to play like Urlacher and let Roquan with everything in front of him, the way that Urlacher was allowed to play, would be crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's like a heat-seeking fucking missile. You know what I mean? Like if he didn't, you know, and then you send him on the blitz, he would be better than Urlacher. Urlacher's fucking worst quality was when he had to go through the trash and be a blitzer.
True.
That wasn't his game at all. Like that was usually pretty ugly from Urlacher. It was like the only flaw probably in this game was that. And Roquan did not have that flaw.
Urlacher had he had the length pause, but he had the extension.
Urlacher had the hands.
Once he wrapped you up, you were done.
Urlacher had the hands. Urlacher had the crazy safety back pedal. Like
he was tall as fuck.
Right, but he also played safety. Like, you know, like he was returning kicks sometimes for UNM. Like he fucking had that crazy DB back pedal. And I know a lot of linebackers have that now. It's not like something, but that's only because the linebackers that they started drafting smaller linebackers. He had that back pedal at the size which just doesn't make any sense.
He was ahead of his time athletically at the position.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like now, it's like they take a guy like Jamal Adams and they play him at safety and they ask him to play the way that Urlacher played at linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and they want him to do that, but he can't do that. Like, you know, and that's the crazy thing is it's like
that jack linebacker.
Urlacher could, like, you know, tackle a 250-pound linebacker or running back in the hole, and then also, like, you know, fucking cover whoever the fuck you wanted. You know, I know that was crazy, but I think Roquan could do all that shit.
And we had a linebacker and safety in Mike Brown.
Oh, and you had a 3 technique, which I think is very pivotal to that Tampa too. Who plays 3 technique here? Nichols,
I don't know, maybe Tonga.
He's not very athletic.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to be athletic and quick.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, you go fucking get a guy.
Goldman never snaps back, but how many years does Goldman have left?
I don't think he can. I mean, that's more of like an Akeem Hicks type of guy, you know. But he's washed.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Anyway, let's move.
Akeem can't stay healthy for 16 games. He can't even stay healthy for 10. Like, no matter what, with Akeem right now, he's going to be injured for 5 games. He's going to be a fucking weirdo for 2 games. And then he's going to have, like, the rest are going to be great games. That's what he's going to give you. Like, you know.
Be a good role player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think.
Role player.
But even when he's in a rotation, he gets hurt. Like, you know, dude gets hurt like standing on the sideline at this point. He's just an older player. It's not his fault. Like, he's just a huge ass dude, and you know, and it's like it becomes so easy to re-injure shit once you start down that road. So, like, I don't know. I mean, you know, but do I really see
Dr. Chow? Dr. Chow, is that true?
As you get older and fatter, you get injured more. Absolutely, it's true. Yes, I don't have to be Dr. Chow to fucking tell you that. That's what's going on with Akeem.
and another indictment on Pace. You know, another situation that's been rearing its head for quite some time, and there's no backup plan there.
I think he's been trying. I don't know that there's no backup plan. I think he's been trying to hedge his bets, but they're also unwilling to be fucking cutthroat and cut bait on these guys when they need to.
Well, Hicks 100% healthy is not a guy you just easily replace.
But you have to at some point go, okay, realistically, is it likely he's going to play full seasons for us ever again? And
in that way, yeah.
Like that, I just think it's been that way for 3 seasons now. Like, it's not, you know, like, you know, every year it's like, God, I love the dude. I love that guy. Like, I don't want him traded or gone. Fucking love Akeem. But, like, at some point you have to just go, okay, like, the reality of him helping us to this level that we need him is just not there.
It feels like an off-season pod, man. That's what sucks, because, like,
it is an off-season pod. Normally this season's over. Now we get one more weird-ass game. Is Justin going to play?
Are we going every week in the off-season too, guys?
Is Justin going to play?
They said he's going to. I thought I just
try to go. Right?
He's going to play.
When, only if he's healthy. I thought it's still not sure if he's 100% healthy or whatever that means.
Do we want him to play?
Yeah, I want to see him play. Yes, absolutely.
I think the last game a little bit more interesting. That's for sure.
Yes, I want to see him play.
Sure,
I don't want to.
not.
You want to see Dog play? Fuck.
Offensive player of the game for the Giants game. Montgomery.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's just wrap that turd.
Come on, Diddy. Bust out the yards per carry.
It was.
Or Darnell Mooney. I mean, you could go Darnell Mooney.
I would say Darnell.
Number 27 in the league in yards, and with his 55%.
I'm just saying Darnell because
right?
Everybody said Montgomery. Monty probably was, but
yeah.
I'm trying to be.
Unfortunately, Montgomery and Darnell and Komet are like, that's it. I mean, those like big building blocks. I don't know. And Komet, I'm being nice and throwing him in there.
He's the one piece Lego.
But I honestly think Foles is a better choice right now because we'll be able to see more guys involved. Like Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton doesn't do anything special.
But if Fields is healthy, I want to see him play. I mean, come on, that's what we.
No, I'm just saying if he's not, I'd rather.
That's
see
what we
Foles.
signed up for. Oh yeah, they shouldn't have started fucking Dalton this past week. It should have been Foles again.
Because at least like he does spread the ball around. You get to see people get some shit on tape. Like,
yeah.
So.
If Foles does what he does, if he sees something, he fucking throws it up and lets a guy try to make a play because he sees it pre-snap and he doesn't need a lot of protection to go, you know what, I'm chucking it up there. And he has the type of ball that holds up there and lets guys make a fucking play under it. I mean, that's who Foles has been his whole career. But, whatever.
We're gonna have a clear. At least we'll hear the words Nagy's been fired on Monday.
Hopefully, man. You never fucking know with this team.
Yep.
Can you imagine the fucking madness that would ensue?
If they said they're keeping him.
That's two tonight.
Can you imagine the madness? Oh my god. It would be like the fucking walls would burn. There'd be picketers, I feel like. But you know what? Nagy's, he's going to end on a 3-game win streak. He got everybody all choked up about Jeff Dickerson. Like, he's fucking worms his way back in there. It's like, oh, remember when you hated me? Remember it was fire Nagy? Now it's like, I'm Nagy the good guy. Oh.
$7,600 because of Jenkins.
Nah, you noticed in the last press conference, he didn't get asked about his job directly.
Yeah, they're done asking him about it because he's fucking worming his way in there.
On his realtor hat on.
Whoa, that's offensive to us realtors.
Yeah.
We don't want them back.
It's true.
You're like used car salesman. You're just peddling houses.
Some of us care.
I'm just kidding.
What are you talking about? Biscuit sells dreams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
By the way, it's better to rent. You don't have to. You don't own the shit.
He's a dream maker.
I'm just saying. It's better to rent.
That is spoken. Like, how many apartments have you actually rented? Making that statement.
And you have a good landlord to take care of shit.
Because when you actually rent, it's fucking like none of that shit's real, bro. Like that whole idea of like that fucking lie that homeowners come up with that renting. It's fucking, it sucks. Like, I've done it. I've rented tons of apartments. I've rented tons of houses. Like, not tons, but I've rented multiple different houses. Every time the landlord has been fucking on some bullshit.
They're also not paying into anything, did he? It's just way smarter homeownership.
Fuck you paying into? Don't stop. I'm not gonna get into your sales pitch. All you do is pay interest for like the first 15 fucking years.
Yeah, but hopefully your value appreciates.
Yeah, but when shit goes down, when shit goes down and you're a renter, your ass gets kicked to the fucking curb. When shit goes down and you're a homeowner, you have value.
Yeah, but when you're a renter and if you decide to rent the whole time, and
you're living in your fucking car.
No,
when shit goes down,
you retire in a bad market. You don't have to worry about taking the hit on your home. You're out.
Yeah, but I also have people that I'm selling for right now making 80, 90, 100K from when they bought it 2 years ago.
Who fucking cares?
We don't own homes in Indiana.
Ownership is a
Set up
lie
shop wherever you want.
It's not a lie. You're just buying into the bank.
You're renting it till they sell it again.
No, you're becoming a fucking player in the equity. No, you don't technically own it.
Biscuits. If I buy a $500,000 house and I take out a 30-year, how much am I actually paying for that house?
Yeah, it's going to be almost 3 times as much if you stick with the full 30-year mortgage. Nobody
should.
Nobody
should.
Does that.
You renegotiate it. Your fucking credit goes up. You renegotiate it again. You fucking.
Most people sell their home in 4 to 6 years, anyways.
Right.
Hey, if you buy it in South Carolina, you turn it into a crack house. You're good.
Yeah,
shit off like that.
I guess it depends. I guess it depends where you live because I've been.
The silence that got was fully earned. Like that was so.
What are we doing here? Let's wrap this bitch up. It's 2 hours in. Nobody cares about the plight of the white man.
What? Good
What the
Lord.
hell?
Wow. All right. And you're muted.
Yeah, what the?
What the fuck, bro?
Wow.
Chair.
I mean, we're all.
Stop, bro. Give it up. No
Well,
more.
this has been just a great advertisement for my business down here, gentlemen.
There you go.
That's some bullshit that like people tell themselves, man. Like I never thought I'd be able to own a house, but like once you actually own a house and you realize, oh, like I exist. You know? Like when you don't own a house, you don't even exist to banks. You don't even exist. Oh, you're a renter? Good fucking luck. You know? Like
For some people, it's their retirement too. Let's say you are some of those odd 3% people that do spend 30 years in that home. Then you reverse mortgage it at the end of your life, and that pays literally for you to sit there and die at the end of your life.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Renters don't get that.
No. Like that's some weird, like being like the whole like you should rent. That's some weird libertarian fairy tale. like that shit's fucking not real.
Diddy, don't you own your own house?
Yes, of course he does. I guarantee you, he hasn't had a bunch of shitty landlords.
All right.
Like,
say you rent. Say just a round number. Just a. If
I'm not. Dude, the math. You're gonna win on the math. It's not about the math.
I don't know if he is going to win on the math, though, too, because on the back end, you're never going to see that rent money again.
Yeah, that rent money
literally
doesn't matter.
Dude,
well, you paying rent, you paying interest for the fucking house.
Tell that to the millions of people who get rich off of real estate investing. That it's just it's a terrible argument. I'm sorry, Diddy, I love you, but no, it's a terrible argument.
I'm not looking to get and make it an investment. Here's the thing.
Take the fucking pandemic.
It's a personal investment.
Take the fucking pandemic. If you were a renter during the pandemic, you were fucked.
No, if you were a landlord during the pandemic, you were also fucked too.
Biscuits.
Right.
Biscuits.
But
you're a numbers guy, right? If I'm renting a house, $1,000 a month for 30 years. And I'm paying a mortgage.
What 500 square foot house in the backwoods of Kentucky is this?
Hypothetically, go ahead.
Yeah,
and I'm paying a mortgage at $1,000 a month for 30 years.
Yes, the problem that you're not seeming to understand is
I can bank more money.
People don't stay in their house for 30 years. First off, your mortgage payment's going to be cheaper than your rent payment is. 9 times out of 10, unless you just
I roll my freaking taxes and everything into it.
You're building equity, though. That matters.
Correct. That's the back end payoff that you're not seeing. Most people stay in homes 4 to 6 years. They're selling it over time. It appreciates in value. They're making money off the back end.
Right. And if you
even if you deduct the interest,
if you want to do anything with your money, if you want to go anywhere with your money, like you don't exist as a renter. Like just having that equity and showing there's nothing.
I think that dynamic's going to change because it's going to have to change, but whatever.
I don't think so. I don't think it'll change.
And that's equity home.
Yeah, well, we go off the rails because we got a shitty ass football team. What the fuck?
Yeah, but
it's not our fault. I blame George McCaskey for these conversations. Right. If you made it all the way to here through real estate chat, shout out to you.
All right, fellas.
I'm giving a thumbs up, which means nothing on a podcast.
Right.
It's just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
Uppers.
Home ownership.
MLS number 344918863.
Call a realtor.
Call a realtor.
Fixed 2.9 30-year mortgage over there. Flames.
I'm gonna serve burnt ends at an open house.
Yo, the fucking we didn't even mention how fucking Zimmer was like.
Okay, we're still live.
All right, bye.